How's it going, everybody? It's Josh from the MTG Homebrew Network coming to you with yet another Tiny Leaders deck tech. This one is Saga Spam, a Garnet Princess of Alexandria Tiny Leaders Final Fantasy collaboration deck tech. That's right, I wrote a letter to Square Enix and asked them if I can make this deck, and they said, dude, why do you need to write a letter to us? It's a Magic the Gathering deck. Anyone can make it. And also, I never actually did that, and they never actually said that. This deck is a Saga deck that uses Sagas over and over and over again. If you never stop reading, then you just get infinite fun, and that's what this deck does. We have a lot of very powerful Sagas that we can remove counters from with Garnet to double trigger their chapters and also prevent them from ever sacrificing themselves and going away. Garnet is that jerk who takes books out from the library and never ever returns them. Garnet, I have been waiting for the 4th Game of Thrones book for months. Can you please bring it back? Thank you. This deck is very fun to play. I've got one game in with it so far, and I really enjoyed it. You just get ridiculous amounts of value from these Sagas. Let's start with the Sagas. Let's look at what we got. We don't have a ton of them, but the ones we have will be triggering over and over again, baby. Trial of a Time Lord has 3 modes that say exile target non-token creature an opponent controls until it leaves the battlefield. Ideally, it doesn't leave the battlefield. Just going between chapter 1 and 2 over and over every time you attack with Garnet or remove a counter some other way, like with this Nesting Grounds that says move a counter from a permanent I control into another permanent. Doesn't have to be a Saga. I can just put those counters onto anything. Then it lets you stay on that Saga forever and exile 2 things. I guess if you want to go to chapter 4 and get things back, you can, but your opponent's gonna vote to get their stuff back. So if you want to be like tricky, I guess you can put something really good of yours into it, but like, why would you do that? Just never let the Saga go away. The Sea Devils, another great Doctor Who card. This Doctor Who guy, man, he be having a lot of Sagas. It's almost like he had a TV show with a bunch of seasons and multi-episode, I guess, Sagas. Making a 2/2 alien over and over again, sweet. If your opponent's got islands, sucks to be them. Being able to go to number 3 and let the Saga die also and deal a bunch of damage to their stuff, very strong as well. We love this one. The 2/2 is just very good, and having removal stapled to it, also great. All of our Sagas really have removal stapled to them, or the vast majority of them. Speaking of which, we have exile up to 1 target creature with the Princess Take Flight. These ones, if the Saga goes away, they're just still gone. Also giving something +2/+2 and flying every turn, very sweet. So ideally, we're removing a counter from chapter 2 and bringing it to chapter 1 with this one. Returning the exiled card to the battlefield, oh, just kidding, it comes back. But ideally it wouldn't, is the last part of it. But, you know, like I said, we're not doing that. We're not letting it get that far on the chapter. Hopefully it's just, you know, we can like have our opponent destroy our Sagas, or we destroy them ourselves with a sideboard card or something, so that it doesn't get to that point. We just don't want them to ever come back, because if they do, we probably lose. But usually we don't get to that point. Generally, so in practice, exiling 1 creature, then giving your Garnet +2/+2 after exiling the creature the previous turn, and then having Garnet attack as a 5/5 flying because she's got a counter on herself, and then got +2/+2 and flying, and then also lifelink is a big enough swing that you usually are just going to win the game after that, even if they do get their creature back because they've removed Garnet. We're going to go over ways to protect Garnet as well. This one's just insane value no matter which mode you choose. You can draw 1 billion cards, you can put 1 billion counters on things, you can make a soldier sometimes, I guess. You can let it die and you get added a mana. It's just very good. Strength of the Harvest is an MDFC. We don't need to talk about it. This one's cool because the 2/1 spiders with reach are awesome, and also being able to put counters on your creatures is pretty good. Being able to give it double strike on Garnet is also very sweet. Even though she doesn't have any evasion, she does have lifelink, so gaining 1 million life when your opponent chumps is not the worst. And then, of course, this one, speaking of ways to gain 1 million life when your opponent chumps, we have this one that'll, if we double trigger it, is insane. It's like we're pretending to be Light Paws with all that glitters and the ethereal armor. It's pretty friggin' gross. We have some Umbras as well, just to give our commander some longevity. People are going to be trying to kill it all the time. We have Hyena Umbra, which gives first strike, which is cool, and Dog Umbra, which is a pacifism if we need it to be. We also have Lightning Greaves to protect our commander, and in addition to that, so many creatures that can save it. Let's get into those. We have Elsia the Life Bounty, which also protects our Sagas if we need it to. We have a Giver of Ruins. We have a Mother of Ruins. We have Skrell, my boy, and then Vigilant Martyr, which is a card that I've used in a few decks recently, actually. It's sweet. You can sacrifice it to a generated creature, which is cool if your opponents are trying to kill it. They cannot. And also, you can counter a spell that targets an enchantment for 2 white and tapping it, which is very, very useful when we have a lot of powerful enchantments, i.e. Sagas, that our opponents want to kill. Our other 1-drops are also pretty sweet. We make a lot of tokens, so Ocelot Pride, obviously, very, very strong. Guide of Souls, obviously, very, very strong. And then Delight of Halfling is great because we have a creature commander that is very, very much a card that people want to counter. And we can prevent that with Delighted Halfling or just curve out a little harder, which we love. Man, that's just good. Speaking of which, Sanctum Weaver, which makes a ton of it because all of our Sagas are enchantments, and it itself is an enchantment as well. If people are killing our Garnet, this just lets us recast her, which is pretty good. We like that. We also have Satsuki, my bad, to add more counters to our Sagas and do even more shenanigans with Garnet, and also be able to return Sagas to our hand after we've spent them. Voice of Victory, staple. I don't need to talk about it every single deck tech. Bloated Contaminator is a sweet one, though. It proliferates our Sagas up when it hits, which is very cool, and also has Trample on Toxic, which can be useful. I don't think the Toxic's ever is going to really come in handy, but being a 3-mana 4/4 Trample with upside is sweet. Speaking of upside, Calyx is a great card in this deck, putting counters on creatures whenever an enchantment enters, and also being able to make copies of enchantments that you control. So Sagas, having like two of these, you can exile so many dang creatures. You're gonna slap that Saga and fit so many creatures inside that baby, like a used card salesman meme. It's very strong. And then of course we have a couple Saga creatures, the Choco Mog, which buffs all of our tokens, Fenrir, which gets a bunch of lands and also buffs creatures that we play, and then Ixion, which, oh, look at that, it just it exiles things until it leaves the battlefield, which it won't. It's the same stuff over and over again, which is great in this format because consistency is king. Our sorcery suite pretty normal. We have some proliferate stuff. That's it. They all just proliferate. Removal proliferate, return proliferate, find a land proliferate. That is that. Our lands also are pretty standard. We have Boseiju in the main. Nesting Grounds, which I've already talked about, can remove counters from our Sagas. And then we have Shifting Woodlands, which can be a Saga, which isn't useful until you realize that you can put counters on that with Nesting Grounds. So that's pretty fun. More often, this Shifting Woodland's going to be one of our cool busted OP creatures. Urza Saga is here because it is a Saga, and making 2/2s making 2-mana constructs forever is very sweet. And then of course we have the rest of our fetch lands. Soul Cauldron plays nice with all of our proliferate and counter stuff that we're doing. Deafening Silence says Storm players don't get to play the game. We have Bathe in Light, which is a card that I'm very high on lately. It lets us dodge red board wipe removal by giving all of our creatures protection, and it's very sweet against just removal stuff in general because you know that people be trying to kill Garnet. But also the excellent card about it is if we target Garnet with it, it also hits our opponent's creatures, which means if our opponents are playing Light Paws, all of Light Paws' auras will fall off. Very funny. Love it. Absolutely love it. Cankerbloom, very sweet card that destroys artifacts, enchantments, or proliferates. And then of course Destiny Spinner, great against control, makes it so that people can't counterspell our Sagas or creatures. Sterling Grove also protects our Sagas and lets us search for more. And then we have some more proliferate stuff, this Carnivorous Canopy, and Seal from Existence, which is a cool enchantment that also removes things. It's great because it hits non-land permanents and also has ward on it. I just want to talk really quickly about Throb and Charm. It's Grave Hate, and also enchantment removal, very important. We have a bunch of good enchantments if that's evidence enough about that. Also, because we run a lot of creatures, it's a sweet piece of regular removal. And then Rest in Peace, which is pretty standard. We're not using our graveyard a ton, so being able to put an enchantment into play that also says our opponents don't get to use their graveyard or get on death trigger effects, very sweet. And that's the whole deck. I feel like this is a very strong card. The weakness of this deck, of course, is that you can sever the connection between Garnet and the Sagas by destroying one or the other. It means that your opponents just have more removal spells that line up against this deck than they normally would. But the upside to that is that you get to do insano stuff every single turn. And if your opponent can't stop it, they're going to drown in value in like 2 to 3 turns, or sometimes even 1 turn of just attacking with Garnet. Sweet deck. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please consider checking out the tokens I make over on Etsy. There's over 100 tokens available, but if you don't see something you're looking for, don't hesitate to reach out in our Discord, as I do custom orders.